Hello everyone, so this is the Gulch. I've shown things to you before. This is our altar space, which is now full of plant life. Sacred staff. So I just wanted to show you what it looks like now. This is just a pile of twigs that I am collecting from a tree that I felled. We've got garden space over here right now. This is definitely not a trap door, just so you know. I don't know what that pipe is for. It's a mystery. So over here, this is just a simple space, bird feeder, tiki torches, because reasons. Obviously that's the creek right over there. It's a big old tree, and you can't tell, but in those dark, mysterious woods back there, there's, several more acres of land that we have, which all need to be cleared, at least somewhat, for common spaces and whatnot. Over here, we have beans. Over here, we have broccolis and Brussels sprouts. This is the whole area I've been clearing recently of trees because obviously you can see the canopy takes away the sunlight. So a lot of them have to come down. We were really obsessed before with trying to live as closely in harmony with nature as we possibly could, and we're still trying to do that, by not removing things that don't need to be removed. Like that giant tree right there is not going to come down. They do wonders for the soil and obviously for erosion purposes and whatnot. This is the tent, the big tent that is my home. This space right here is going to get turned into probably another vegetable area. I'm working on that right now. I just cleared out all of this stuff. It was all covered before in the last couple days. I'll take you a little bit up the path. This is the main path to our home, and it's really far. I'm planting random bulbs and things. It's really far all the way up. I just want to give you a sense of what it's like up here. All the way up there on that ridge is our road, which there's nothing on that side of it, nothing on that side of it, nothing on that side of it, nothing on this side of it except us. We have this beautiful windy path, windy. Up there, all of that, of course, is ours too. It goes way back there. That's where we're going to put the cabin soon. Not the cabin, the tent. We're probably going to move it up there. So we're on higher, drier ground. See the chicken coop over there. Another big tree that we need to treat. That is Soul Daddy shining through. Another tiki torch. This is a really funny riparian area. The water, when it rains, cuts through this and then basically goes straight down through the middle of our campsite, But yeah, we're gonna turn it into something cool. Right up here, almost maybe halfway up the path, and see it winds and goes all the way back up to the top. Right about here is where we're going to put another path going up that direction, and we are going to put the tent up there somewhere. Be much better, much drier, probably warmer, which, in the winter won't be such a bad thing. But this is Virginia, so it gets pretty hot and muggy. But eventually that's where we're going to put the tiny home. Probably going to be able to build one ourselves for about $5,000. So once we have the financial resources to do that, we're going to buy the ingredients, buy all the stuff necessary, can't think of the word, for a tiny home. So, there's a nice potential where I see the sun shining through. It looks like a cool space for another nice path. Interesting. So, we need shrubberies, And they need to be good shrubberies, and then you need to put them next to each other so you can have a little path going down the middle. Monty Python, you're welcome. So down here, I'm just taking the shortcut. Over here is nothing. Like, we have so much land and so much potential. All that we need to do is clear out some of the little straggler trees, which are not serving anybody. Make some room, flatten the land if you want to flatten it or not. Clear out the twigs and the detritus and leaves and things like that. And suddenly you have a beautiful, workable space for whatever you want to do. You want to build a little shack and live that way for a little while, you're welcome to do so. If you want to put a tent up, you can come and help us create something beautiful and essentially live for free. Nothing's free, but you get out of it what you put into it. This is the chicken coop area, beautiful little chicken coop that my partner made. Just felling more trees over here. This is what I wanted to show you. Blueberries. I'm going to make this entire hill area right here where the water comes through Berrytown, USA. So we're going to have raspberries and blackberries and whatever else we can throw in here. They like slopes and they like lots of water. So, but then again, canopy. Oh my God, so many trees. Like, we were crazy before. Like, we don't want to cut down anything because nature reasons, hippie tree huggers. And now we're like, oh my God, there's too many trees, get rid of all of them. Because obviously we need the sunshine for the crops, so big deal. All right, here I've got 3 pear trees, and those are going to grow up nicely. Put them a little close together because I'm crazy, but that's what Spirit told me to do. And over here, where did it go? Over here, I just discovered this today and I was pretty excited about it. See, this is another little path that I'm making, and that's going to go up to Berryville. And over here, we have the peach tree. Yeah, sehr gut. Look what I just found today. It has a peach on it. I'm so freaking excited. I mean, obviously, it's just a little guy, and it's still adjusting itself to the soil down here, but it made a peach, so yay. More sun. Over here is so flippin' dark. So this is our first garden area, and a lot of weeds came up or whatever because we were just doing like chaos gardening. Kyle put seeds here and put seeds there, and you can see where, like, I don't know what those are, like broccoli or Brussels or something like that. I decided, and they're doing pretty well. They're grouped a little too close together, but live and learn. And we've got some carrots and kale and things coming through. So that's one garden area. That's Hoodoo Harry. He needs a head. So moving through. This is another area that I'm working on right now, which I planted. You can barely see them anymore because the plants look exactly like the weeds that popped up right after. But there are butternut squashes down there. And so this is an area that I've been clearing out, where you can see all the foliage, the dead trees, and the trees laying down over here. And that's what I've been working on the past couple days to let some light through. And just past those trees there, basically, is the edge of our property. Going up there, there's nothing that way. There's nothing that way. So yeah, that's the gist of it. We've got a fig here that I'm planting, and that is raspberries. Yes. So, wood pile. Yay, wood. I've got wood. You're welcome. Somebody had to make the joke. So over here, this is our original path from days gone by. We started off in this tiny little tent over here and had no idea what the hell we were doing, and we're terrified. This is a mushy friend. Yeah. This is of the Amanita variety. He's got a little brother down there, and their daddy has already spent. He's done. This is either Amanita pantherina, which is psychedelic and fun, or it is a destroying angel, which will kill you in a matter of hours. So, moving on. This is one of my favorite little areas, and it's going to just mostly be path. There's some beautiful stones up here. Eventually, I want to, terrace it a little bit or put something up there. I have no idea what's going to go up there. We're going for the concept of a food forest. And so no matter where you go, essentially, you're going to be finding something that's edible. That's eventually, that's down the road. Might not be 10 years, 20 years, nobody knows, but eventually that's what we're going to get to. That's the point. So, beautiful creek, very picturesque and lovely. This area has a lovely energy. It'd be good for meditation and stuff like that. Over here is the pond. I showed you guys that a long time ago. Looks totally different though now that the trees are filled in, and it's really a beautiful wood. So this is memories. This is where we started, and we were like, oh my God, what did we get ourselves into? And we were originally over here and eating our little campfire meals and all that kind of stuff, and barely even, scratching the surface of how much land we had. And then we expanded and we expanded and we put the bigger tent together and all of that. And now we're flying high, baby. So all the way up there, that basically goes to the road as well, right here, this ridge. All the way up there, all of this hill also has great potential for something. It might not be so good because it's really not facing the right direction for food, unless we could, have some kind of crop that doesn't really want a bunch of sun. At the very least, we could totally just cover this whole section in different types of flowers or something like that, So that's the possibility. Here is some weird coral fungus that's been growing up. It's growing all over here. I don't know if it's edible. Obviously, I'm not going to try. It's everywhere around this little patch. Lovely stuff. No idea what it's called or what it does, if anything. All over here as well. Yeah. So, this is... we wish we didn't have, obviously, these big pipes. There was our neighbor who built a dam so that he could have a picturesque 5-acre lake and go fishing. And then the dam busted, and now we have a bunch of useless crap in our creek. That was years ago. He's not going to rebuild it. He's in his late 80s. I hope that nobody comes and tries to rebuild it. There's so much land out there, and they could do so much with it. It's like you could put a farm there. You could put 2-3 farms there if you do it right. Just plant some vegetables or something. It's great land, and it's got water running through it, so wonderful. And it was just a lake. I still wouldn't be opposed if it was a lake and we could go fishing there. I'd probably be there, like, hanging out shirtless fishing every day of my life if I could, But yeah, that's a thing. So over here is another eyesore. And he asked us, oh, maybe you could get them off. I don't want them bothering you on your property. And I'm like, yeah, neither do we, man. And we tried to move them, and they're freaking heavy. So that's the original path down the hill where we used to come, and it's like way more difficult than the other one. And so we started coming down that way. There's another pipe over there. You can't really see it. It's kind of hidden. This is one of my favorite little areas, although we don't spend much time over here anymore. It really needs to be mucked out. There's a bunch of leaves down here in this whole little pond area, and rotten logs and things. And Mama River, basically, she just tells me, like, clean me up. Kyle got right on it when we first got here, and he just started making these little filters, basically, just like putting stones across the creek, and it just kind of filters stuff out. Obviously, some things get stuck as they come through, but then you'd see when we started doing that, all of this cleared way up. So this is where we come to bathe and to just like hang out and do a little, crick bath or whatever. The water is really, really clean, obviously. Not as clean as to drink. You don't want to do that. But for drinking, of course, we filter it. Back past there is actually what became a waterfall because the dam broke. So it used to be the area of the dam is now a semi-lovely waterfall. It's still got some things to be desired, and there's some old equipment up there that's like, holy Christ, Kathleen. Like, I need this aggravation. All this stuff, all these modern contrivances, like water heaters, and there's just debris, and I think there's like a stove or a fridge or something up there. It's just like, what the freaking hell is this stuff, and why did you insert it into nature, Some more lovely stones. You can see the little pink flags, like that was where we originally were coming down. It seems so long ago, and in some ways, like, we do so little over here. This doesn't even seem like our land, and yet it is. All the way over there, cuts across, and I wish I could take you up that way. I will do that someday, just to show you how much freaking space we have. And yeah, it is hilly, it is gulchy, and it is wooded. It is full of freaking trees, right? But all it takes is a little manpower or woman power, what have you, and a little bit of creativity, and you have space and the amazing rich soil and sunlight for whatever you want to grow. So that's what we're focusing on down here. Besides that, of course, what we want is an intentional community. So we want people to come here who not just don't have any other place to go, but who are dismayed with modern society. You don't want to hold down the 9 to 5 so that you can make enough money to pay your water bill and your electric bill and your Wi-Fi bill so that you can buy the caffeine pills necessary that that it takes to go to your office job, to make the money, to pay for the water bill, to like, it doesn't make any sense. None of that in society makes any sense. You're not using your creativity. You're not in the flow. You're not doing anything for yourself, as in you work your entire life for somebody else, and then you have absolutely nothing to show for that. All you have to show for it is the money that you made to be able to live in the expensive apartment so that you can rest and go back to your job the next day. And it's just a perpetual cycle of nothingness. People don't get to put their own energy into their own projects anymore. You work for somebody else for your entire life, and you don't have anything to show for that. At the end of it, you retire and then you die. People die after they retire because suddenly they're not using their creative juices anymore. Terrible looking pile of trees, I know. And what we want people to do is to be able to come here and not have to worry about those things. You can live in relative comfort and have a meal provided and work on the farm, for a little bit, help out with the things, the chores, everything that needs to be done. And then have the time and the space, the psychic space especially, to work on whatever you want to work on. So if you're a musician, then you would have the space and the time and the money. If you want to go and have a job in town, you'd be able to save that money, instead of spending it on, like I said, food and shelter and electricity and water and all of these things that shouldn't be paid for. They should be free. These resources. As long as you have something like that and you can filter your water, then why not get it from a natural source? So we want people to be able to do that and to come and to enjoy themselves and dance and be danced and love and be loved and have a space for spiritual growth and healing. When you're in nature, that happens naturally. I, of course, am a shaman and a guide when it comes to spirit and that type of energy healing and all that stuff. Doesn't mean you have to do anything in vain with me or what I'm doing or whatever. But to be in a place like this is to be with spirit. To be with nature is to be with spirit. And anybody who comes and does this and tries this will start to understand the benefit of it. And then all of a sudden, when you go out into the regular world, you'll be like, what is this madness? Why do I feel icky now every time I go into the regular world? It's because we're not supposed to live that way, you guys. We're supposed to live at least as close to nature as possible, and certainly in as much harmony with it as possible. Um, so that's just a little bit of what we're trying to do. There's a lot more that I could say, but I think I'll leave it at that. I love you guys, and I'll show you more later.